Hey guys, Paulo here. Today we're diving deep into the incredible world of virtual and augmented reality with the Meta Quest 3 VR headset. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to experience VR and AR, trust me, now is the right time to do so. So let's start with a bit of a confession. I was never really into VR or AR headsets. They always seemed like niche gadgets, more of a gimmick than a game changer. And I remember trying out some of the early VR tech and it didn't quite click the same way the Meta Quest 3 did. The graphics were subpar, the motion sickness was pretty bad, and the whole setup was pretty clunky at the time. But recently I got hooked on simulators like Microsoft Flight Simulator and Assetto Corsa for racing, and man, if you haven't tried these games yet, you're missing out on the level of detail and realism. It's just insane. Flying over real world locations, racing on iconic tracks, it really opened my eyes for immersive experiences in a way I hadn't appreciated before. That's when I started thinking, what if I could take this immersion experience that I'm having to the next level? What if I could actually feel like I'm inside the cockpit or behind the wheel? And that's sort of what triggered me to give VR another shot. Enter the Meta Quest 3 headset. Now, initially this was supposed to be a tethered headset to my Alienware desktop, but this headset was quite a bit of a game changer when I found out it can do much more than that. It's a standalone device. No wires, no external sensors, no need to hook it up to a PC if you don't really want to. Just put it on and you're ready to go. Now, highlighting some quick specs for you, it's got high resolution dual displays running at 120Hz refresh rate. Running the whole device is a Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor for a quick and snappy experience. Then you've got improved controllers with improved haptic feedback, and of course new pancake lenses that make everything look crisp and clear. Now, the first time I put on the Quest 3, I was blown away by how comfortable it was. They really nailed the ergonomic design this time around. And for added comfort, I did buy an extra headset strap that goes along very nicely. Link in the description below if you want to help the channel out, but this is something that's going to stay on my headset moving forward. And overall, the weight distribution just feels right. I could wear it for hours without any discomfort, and that's really a huge plus for me, especially wearing such a foreign object on your face. Now imagine having your own virtual office where productivity meets comfort or portability. You can set up multiple monitors with this thing, customize your workspace, and eliminate all the unusual distractions. You can even transform your room into a personal movie theater with a big screen as big as you like, pop some popcorn, dim the lights, or rather adjust the virtual lighting, and you're all set. And the best part is you have your own personal space to do whatever you like. Only you can see what's going on and you can frame your space exactly how you'd like it to be. Now, thanks to mixed reality, you can blend day-to-day activities with your workflows right through the headset. When I was giving this thing a demo around, I had to activate the whole mixed reality thing, and that sort of made people understand the beauty about this. And that's the thing, you just have to experience it. It's really hard to put a device on and tell people this is the greatest thing, which is why I'm making these videos, that I'm hoping that you guys can go out there to go to your local Best Buy and give it a try and put it on, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I say you can create your own personal space using this thing, and you can pretty much have any sort of setup you'd like. As I mentioned, a home theater, productivity task setup, or you can even bring it to work. I get it, it feels a bit weird wearing a VR headset in public. And I remember taking this thing to a cafe once, and yeah, I got a few stares. But here's the thing, if you're able to overlook all of that and just immerse yourself into VR, you'll forget about it pretty quickly. Seriously, the outside world just fades away and you're fully engaged in whatever you're doing. Whether that's exploring a fantasy world, working out with a virtual trainer, or collaborating with colleagues in a virtual meeting room. Now, combining the Meta Quest 3 with a powerful machine like my Alienware Aurora R15, when you connect the Quest 3 to a high-end PC, it transforms it into an even more formidable VR headset. You get enhanced graphics, smoother performance, and access to a wider range of VR titles that leverage the full power of your PC. Games like Half-Life Alyx, Flight Simulator take on a whole new level when powered by a beastly PC and you're running it in VR. Setting it up is pretty straightforward. You'll need a compatible cable or use the AirLink feature for a wireless connection. For the wireless connection, you definitely need a router that can handle the horsepower that will basically be allowing your computer to talk to your headset wirelessly. However, I do prefer the linked method, so just make sure that your Wi-Fi is robust enough to handle the data transfer if you do decide to go this route. Then, once you're plugged in, all you gotta do is run Meta's own VR software. It gets to talk to Steam and then is connected via Steam Link and you're good to go. It's truly remarkable what a VR headset can do, let alone the Meta Quest 3 being already good for its price and value, is now a totally capable VR headset. I then tried a flight simulator test with the Quest 3 and let me tell you, it was a whole new level of amazing. Seeing the clouds pass by the cityscapes below, it felt really incredible. The sense of depth and scale you get in VR is something you just can't replicate on a flat screen. The 120Hz refresh rate is a big deal too, making it feel smooth when you're having high motion, and it does reduce a lot of that motion sickness. The new Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor means faster loading times and the ability to handle more complex applications. This opens up possibilities and more advanced games and productivity apps. Oh, and did I mention that you get new controllers? With these controllers, Meta has improved the haptic feedback, so when you're interacting with virtual objects, it feels more tactile. Picking up items, pressing buttons, even feeling the recoil of a virtual weapon, it feels much more immersive. Compared to the Quest 2, the Quest 3 is a significant upgrade. The visual improvements alone make it worth considering an upgrade. When you stack it up against competitors like HTC or Valve, the Quest 3 holds its own because of the great value and feature ratio, especially when considering it's a standalone device. No need for base stations or a tethered connection to a PC, which the Meta Quest 3 can do, unless you want to, of course, plug it into your computer and experience that, but it is not essential. And that flexibility is one of the strongest selling points. If you're new to VR, here are some tips to get you started. The initial setup is straightforward. Just follow the on-screen instructions, making sure that you have enough space to move around safely. Some of the must-have apps and games I highly recommend for the Quest 3 would be Beat Saber, which I'm sure you've seen around, and the Super Hot VR for some action-packed gameplay, as well as Tilt Brush if you're into trying something a bit more creative. For comfort settings, spend some time adjusting the headset to feel comfortable. Everyone's head shape is slightly different, and a good fit makes a big difference in your VR experience. Now, very often people complain about the battery life, but this is actually a good part to start taking breaks. VR can be really intense and it's still something for your eyes to adjust. So normally when I take those short breaks, whether it's from 15 minutes all the way to 30 minutes, up to an hour, or if I'm done for the day, normally I put my VR headset back into its charging dock and it's good to go the next time I pick it up again. And in terms of battery life, I never seem to have an issue with it due to the reason I just told you. Once I take a few breaks here and there, I then charge the device right away, and then I pick it up again when I'm ready to go, enhancing and making sure that the battery is always charged when I'm ready to go again. But if you really want to know how long the battery takes, I've spent a good 2 to 3 hours with the headset and I still haven't reached 30% battery. So in terms of longevity, that the Quest 3 really stands up in terms of battery life. Now, I did mention that this is the brand new Meta Quest 3, but the Meta Quest 3 has been out in the market for quite some time. The reason why I'm saying it's brand new is because for the market itself, even though it's the third version of it, it's still relatively new to a lot of people. So what I did was I've gone online and checked what the community has to say about it. For example, on Reddit and other forums, users are praising the improved comfort and visuals. One user mentioned the new pancake lenses make everything look so crisp. Another pointed out battery life is decent but could be better. So the Meta Quest 3 is definitely getting a lot of buzz out there, but at least people are trying it out and experiencing the whole VR, AR, and mixed reality situation. Speaking of mixed reality, the features are getting a lot of love too. People are enjoying games that blend the virtual and real world together, creating unique experiences you just can't get elsewhere. Developers are also on board actively pushing updates to take advantage of the new hardware. That means we're going to see more and more that utilize the Quest 3's capabilities fully. Like I always say, there is no device that is perfect, and the Meta Quest 3 is no different. Some users have noted that the battery life could definitely be improved, like I mentioned earlier, especially for those longer sessions. The storage options are somewhat limited. If you plan on downloading a lot of games and apps, you might need to manage your library carefully or go for the higher-end 512GB option. There's also the ongoing conversation about privacy and data with Meta, and it's something to be aware of, but personally I haven't found it to be a real deal breaker. So, is the Meta Quest 3 a viable item to consider now? Which I would then say, absolutely. Even after the initial buzz, the Quest 3 remains a solid investment for both newcomers and seasoned VR enthusiasts. Like I mentioned earlier, it is just something you have to experience, and I highly recommend you guys check out a local Best Buy or a store that allows you to sort of return items if you're not satisfied with it. That way you can have peace of mind in giving VR another try, and you never know, it could be something that you will end up using a lot. The price point is reasonable enough now for the tech you're getting, and the software support from Meta has been really consistent. The VR community is growing rapidly. More and more social experiences and multiplayer games mean VR is becoming more connected than ever. Whether you're looking to escape into a game, get creative, or even get some exercise, you know that AR, VR, MR is here to stay, and the Meta Quest 3 is built exactly for that. So there you have it, the Meta Quest 3. It's not just another VR headset, it's a gateway to endless possibilities. Whether you're a VR newbie or a seasoned one, there's never been a better time to jump in. Thanks very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech reviews like this. Leave a comment below and let's talk about it, because it really does help the channel out. So with that, I really appreciate your help, and I will see you in the next one. Till next time, see ya.